Welcome to Marcus Farrell Live. Today we are going to spend some real time talking about a subject America has lied about, mocked, and tried to erase: black fathers. If you've been breathing in this country for more than a week, you've heard the stereotype of the absent black dad. It's a phrase tossed around in politics, comedy, music, even family debates, as if it were some undeniable truth. But here's the actual truth. It's propaganda. It's a lie designed to make America feel better about the systems it created to break black families apart. And tonight, for the next 20 minutes, we are going to sit with the truth, love on the brothers who keep showing up for their kids, and drag the folks who keep pushing the same tired stereotypes. First, let's start with the receipts. Multiple national surveys, not blog posts, not rumor mills, but government-level studies, have shown that black fathers who live with their children are the most involved of any demographic in America. Let that marinate. When it comes to feeding, bathing, helping with homework, taking kids to school, reading bedtime stories, or just playing catch in the yard, black dads top the chart. We aren't talking about 1 or 2 extra minutes a week. We're talking about clear, consistent patterns of showing up. And even when life pulls us apart, because of divorce, separation, or systemic issues that make living together harder, black fathers still show up at higher rates than their white and Latino counterparts in similar situations. That's not me hyping anybody up. That's what the data says. So where did this myth of the absent black dad come from? It was never about facts. It was about politics and control. In the 1960s, sociologists and politicians cooked up the crisis of the black family narrative, pinning poverty and inequality on black fathers instead of on racist housing policies, job discrimination, and unequal schools. The so-called Moynihan Report painted black men as irresponsible, and politicians from Nixon to Reagan to Clinton used that narrative as a weapon. They told America that the problem wasn't redlining, wasn't mass layoffs in black communities, wasn't predatory policing. No, the problem was that black men didn't want to raise their kids, and the country ate it up because it gave them an excuse not to deal with their own racism. Now here's the part that's really galling. Despite centuries of slavery, Jim Crow, mass incarceration, forced migration, and economic sabotage, black fathers kept raising their children. Enslaved black men risked beatings and death to teach their sons and daughters how to survive. Fathers in the Great Migration worked back-breaking jobs just to send money home. Fathers in the Civil Rights Movement raised kids while dodging police batons and fire hoses. And today's black fathers are navigating a world of wage gaps, biased courts, and criminal justice systems that target them, yet still outpace every other demographic in involvement. If anything, the black father is the most resilient model of parenthood in America, and that's why the stereotype hits so false when you put it side by side with reality. Let's talk about what involvement looks like. Black dads are at the doctor's office, filling out forms, asking the questions. They're on the sideline at Little League, clapping loud and correcting refs when they get too bold. They're at the kitchen table explaining fractions, breaking down algebra, and making sure the homework gets done before the PlayStation comes on. They're in the choir stands, at the school plays, at the science fair. They're tying ties, teaching hair care, talking about boys, talking about girls, talking about respect. They're teaching their sons how to shave, teaching their daughters how to demand respect, teaching all their children how to navigate a world that was not designed to see them as equal. This isn't fantasy. This is daily life in millions of black homes. Now, I know there's someone out there already warming up the comments section, ready to say, but what about the fatherless homes? Here's the answer first. Yes, fatherlessness exists in every community. Divorce, death, incarceration, abandonment. It happens to white families, Latino families, Asian families, everyone. But only black men are demonized for it. And here's the deeper truth. Even in cases where fathers don't live in the home, the involvement rates of black dads are higher. They're calling, they're visiting, they're showing up at schools, they're helping with bills. They're still active in ways that statistics for other groups don't match. So if you're clinging to the idea of the missing black dad as your big gotcha, what you're really saying is that you're allergic to facts. There's another layer here. America loves to spotlight the exceptions, the absent father, the deadbeat dad, because it feeds the narrative. But it ignores the majority. You don't see the cameras roll into a black home where dad's helping his daughter study for a spelling test. You don't see the news cover a father braiding his child's hair before church. You don't see sitcoms that model the quiet consistency of a black father's love. Instead, you get headlines and stereotypes designed to paint the worst as the norm. And when people repeat it, they're not describing reality. They're recycling propaganda. Let me also say this. Black fatherhood is not just about surviving in spite of obstacles, it's about redefining what fatherhood can be. Black dads are some of the most emotionally expressive, supportive, and creative parents you will find. They tell their kids they love them, not once in a lifetime, but daily. They cook meals, they do hair, they build costumes for school plays, they host sleepovers. They are showing the world that masculinity and tenderness can live in the same body. And when they do that, they are reshaping the idea of what it means to be a man in America. That's revolutionary. And to the haters, let me be clear. Your stereotype is older than dial-up internet and twice as useless. You keep pulling it out like it's a winning card, but every time the data shows otherwise, you just look more out of touch. If you still think black fathers don't show up, you're telling on yourself. You're showing that you don't read, you don't research, and you're clinging to racist fairy tales because the truth scares you. The truth is that black fatherhood is thriving, and it's been thriving even when the world tried to crush it. So tonight, I want to say thank you. Thank you to every black father who ignored the noise and kept loving their kids. Thank you to the men who work 2 jobs and still make it to the game. Thank you to the dads who FaceTime from a distance, who drive across town to pick up their children, who fight through custody battles to stay in their kids' lives. Thank you to the brothers who teach, nurture, discipline, guide, and protect. You are not just doing your part, you are setting the national standard. And to everyone listening, take this with you. The story of the absent black father was never about reality. It was about control. And when you reject it, when you replace it with the truth, you not only uplift fathers, you uplift children, families, and communities. Black dads aren't just present, they're powerful. They are raising the future. This is Marcus Farrell Live. Show love to black fathers, because they've been doing the work all along. Don't let the lies stand. Like, follow, and share if you're ready to spread the real story. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.